Hey folks, what is up? It is Get Good Dad, and I want to tell you why the Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul fight was the best freaking thing that I've seen in a long, long time. Here we go, folks. Outside of all the problems that Netflix had with their stream, the buffering, the sound dropping, the buffering again, the wild guy who was commentating, the other people who looked like they were not excited to be there, and then after the fact, we're kind of saying, well, Tyson, he's an old man. We did a good enough job and kind of, made up for it after the fact and kind of sold it as this big, huge deal. And, oh, he stepped on his toe and always smacked him in his face. And after the fact, like, oh, well, we knew it wasn't going to be that big of a deal, that good of a fight. Well, then why did you sell it to us like it was a big deal? Anyway, we're not going to talk about that. What we are going to talk about is why the best possible option of what could have should have potentially happened actually did happen. Now, in my mind, there's three things, right? Three possible scenarios, three possible outcomes from that fight last night. Number one is Mike Tyson would have beat Jake Paul. Now, is that even possible? Is that even realistic? It would have really taken Mike Tyson to have a flurry of energy in a moment and catch Jake Paul off guard. I thought that near the end of the fight, maybe Tyson was going to try to do that, like a little 15-second flurry, old school punch out Mike Tyson. But at the end of the day, Mike Tyson was just happy to still be standing, having not been knocked down. So, in all reality, there was very, very little chance that Mike Tyson was ever going to win this fight. Jake Paul is a big, thick-headed, thick-necked human, and to knock somebody out like that, you really got to land a precise blow. And Jake Paul, with that reach that he had, Tyson had the disadvantage. And back in the day, Mike Tyson could have used his quick feet to get up in there, but Mike Tyson doesn't have quick feet anymore. So that option was the option everybody wanted. Everybody wanted to see Mike Tyson knock out Jake Paul, but that was like a 0.0000001 chance in all reality of what was going to happen. So because that wasn't likely to happen, we're not even going to think about it. The other two options, the one that we actually had, where the fight goes the distance and Jake Paul wins by decision, pretty boring fight in all honesty. Mike Tyson looked like he was just kind of there filling space in the last three rounds, and Jake Paul was content to let him fill that space. That as the end game of what this whole spectacle of nothingness was, it actually was much, much better than the alternative. And what is that alternative? That's option number three. Option number three we would have seen a late 20-year-old man beat down and beat up an elderly man. And I have actually seen that myself. My father fought in the Toledo Tough Man at the age of 54. He trained his ass off, folks. He trained hard. He had a stretcher. He had a diet. He was always a good shape guy, everything else like that. And what happened, that very first fight, he ended up drawing somebody, 27, 29-year-old, even taller than my 6'4" dad, built like this. And that guy beat the snot out of my father in front of me, in front of the ring, in front of however many people filled that, whatever it was back in the day in Toledo. And I can tell you this, it was not easy to watch. Even thinking about it now, I'm really glad that last night I didn't have to watch that again, because that's not something that you would have felt good seeing. What you saw last night was something that probably left you feeling a little meh, and I can tell you that's a heck of a lot better than feeling like you just watched a young dude beat the crap out of an old guy. So last night's fight, great job Netflix on hyping this whole thing up. Horrible job with the production, horrible job with presenting yourself as a competent streaming solution. But here we go, folks. Netflix will be fine after all of this. Everybody's talking about it. Mike Tyson hopefully goes and sells reverse mortgages. Jake Paul goes and does now whatever Jake Paul does, and our lives will move on, and absolutely nothing in the world has changed. But you, folks, you escaped you escaped better than most last night. Trust me on that one. Be good to each other.